The story that I want to share with you, I was reminded of in one of my interviews, this experience I had recently that showed how eager people are for disruption and also how unlikely they are they're going to tell you they're unhappy with something. And I think it's important to think about that because it's a great reminder for all of us that no matter what business we're in or what level on the organizational chart, or if we're a small business owner, or if we work for somebody else, that we don't always know when people are unhappy with us. There's places to innovate and improve and to make connections that we don't even know about unless we are asking. So we have got to spend more time asking. So I've kind of put the cart before the horse and shared the insight. But let me back up and tell you the experience I had. So I was traveling for work, and normally when I travel, I get a rental or an Uber, right? I get picked up at the airport, I go to my conference room or my hotel, my office, and then that's that. In this case, the place that I was going to was just far enough that I needed a rental car, something I hadn't done in ages. So I get my rental car. I go to the rental car center, the one that's got all of them, at least all the major ones in the same place. It's like the food court of rental cars. So I go and I'm in line behind these two gentlemen who are clearly there for some type of new business pitch. They're talking about their pitch and the possible client and trying to land the deal. And the line's moving along just fine. And so I'm standing behind them, and one guy turns to the other guy and he says, "I literally can't wait for this entire business to be disrupted. It is so archaic." Now, I'm kind of a nosy, curious person. So I'm behind him thinking, "Ooh, he's upset about something and a battle is about to go down. He's going to go up to that counter. He's going to get mad at the person behind the counter. They're going to bring the supervisor out. You know how the drill goes." So we get up there. They are called up to the counter, and I'm thinking, I have a front row seat to an epic battle. Here we go. They say something, she types into the computer, she says something, they say something back, they're going back and forth. She hands him the keys. He says, "Thank you," and walks away with a smile. Now, I'm stunned. I'm back there thinking, what just happened? I thought he hated this whole thing. But that made me realize something really important. Oftentimes, in fact, most of the time, we don't hear from the people who are the least happy. They just deal with it. They just go along with it. But the minute they have a different choice, they take it. So I want you thinking about, if you're out there, how open our customers, our leadership, by the way, if we're internal inside a company, how all of those are actually open to disruption, open to change, open to new ideas, new people, new ways of doing things. And oh, by the way, in this world today, disruption is the norm. So this next generation of leaders coming up, this next generation of customers coming up, simply expect things to last a couple of years and then for the next greatest thing to come in. Those of us a little older, we have to be brought along for the ride a little bit. But looking back, I loved having that experience because it was so eye-opening and such a reminder to me that oftentimes we miss the opportunities to innovate, to stay relevant, to get ahead of our competition because we don't bother to ask. We assume the people on the other side of the table, whether that's customers or leaders, are going to tell us when they're not happy. But guess what? They don't. We need to ask. And it's not always, "Hey, how happy are you with your service today? 1 through 5 stars. Sometimes we got to go out and we got to say, "Hey, if you were us, what would you do to make this a better experience? Hey, if you were my boss, what do you need from me to really excel in this role and to support you?" We've got to ask questions, not just, "Hey, do you have a problem?" but what would improve this as well?